Let's go to the top 5 teams now. Who you got in your top 5 teams?
Top 5 teams right now. Philly, of course, number one, undefeated. Then after that, you got Buffalo, 5-1. Solid team, real good team. Another team we should have beat in Baltimore, but on to the next one. We got Minnesota at 5-1, and I feel like Minnesota is probably one of the most slept on teams that's out there right now. People aren't really talking too much about those guys, but Minnesota is definitely playing ball. Beating the Packers, they lost. The only loss they have is to the Eagles.
Yep.
Only loss they have is to the Eagles. They beat the Lions, they beat the Saints, they beat the Bears, and they just beat the Dolphins.
So other than that one win, they job like bullshit for real.
Say that again?
I said other than that,
Packers win?
yeah.
Yeah, they really ain't playing
They
nobody.
didn't play nothing.
So we'll see. And they got a favorable schedule though. They got
Definitely do.
the Cardinals coming up next. That should be a tough one. We'll
Tough.
see, depending on
How Hopkins come back.
depending on Hopkins should be coming back.
No, he is coming
They
back.
just got whatchamacallit on their team too.
Anderson from down
Yeah,
Carolina.
Robbie Anderson, we'll see how that play out. But then they got the Commanders after that. They got the Bills, that's gonna be another test.
Tough.
Then they got the Patriots and my bad, the Cowboys, Patriots, then the Jets.
Nah, I feel
So we'll see how that turns out. But I feel like they're probably the team that's not really as being overlooked probably. But who knows how good they really are. Like you said, they haven't really been tested so far. Besides that 1-2 times against Green Bay, and how good is Green Bay really? And then they lost to Philly. So
Yeah.
and then after that you got the Giants, 5-1, earned, not given. I would say I definitely give that to them right now.
Yeah, they got
Definitely
that.
earned, not given. And then we got KC, followed by a few other teams. Like I was saying, is like a 4-way tie at the 5th spot at 4-2.
Right.
And you would have Kansas City, the Chargers, Dallas, and the Jets sitting at 4-2 right now.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, it's that little bunch right there, Paul. It's like that little situation is definitely like you could like be like, oh, they doing something. Oh, but they doing a little something too now. Like you know what I'm saying. But I pretty much agree with your top 5. You know what I'm saying. I just don't have KC in there. I just got them at 6th.
KC at 6, who would you bump them out for?
But my controversial is at the 5th is the Cowboys.
I feel like you're gonna say daggone Cowboys. Why is that?
Because, yo, like, go to their schedule right now, yo. Like, if you look at the games that they've played, and like you talk about differential and whatever, they come off a tough one in the first week to the Bucks. Beat Bengals, who a lot of people presumably thought was going to be good.
I was rooting for. They scraped against the Bengals. Though. I was rooting for them in that game.
But that's what I'm gonna get to that too. Commanders, we not worried about that.
Get
They
the
did what
Giants
they're supposed to
only
do.
loss.
Yeah, get the Giants the only loss. So we're gonna get to that. But now,
Rams smoked them.
Rams smoked them.
But then you get to the Eagles.
You get to the Eagles and you play the Eagles. But now look at this. The Rams coming in, you thought was going to be one of the best teams coming in. Well, people, I know they did.
But they've been bold.
Even if they was or they wasn't, they put it on them and put them in that, like, you know what I mean, that position. Look crazy to me. You look at the Cowboys beating the Giants. That's a top team that you got in the list. They lost to the Eagles, who's a top team on the list. The Bucks, who came out the gate shooting, was at the time one of the top teams on every list.
Mm-hmm.
So their schedule was, you know what I mean, is thorough for real.
And they beat the Bengals.
So I feel like to me that they're 5th. That's the only thing that I would change. 'Cause I think you had KC 5th.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would change. I would have the Cowboys 5th.
But see, my thing about KC is, though, they put up numbers, yo. KC, they beat the Cardinals 44 points. They beat the Chargers. That was a tough game. They won by 3. They lost to the Colts, which at that time, the Colts was rolling. They beat the Bucks, another 40-point game. They beat the Raiders, a 30-point game.
I mean, we had, you know what I mean?
Then they just lost to the Bills in a tough game last week. The Chiefs got a tough schedule. They
do.
the Niners.
I told you, boy, they all damn mean.
Yo, they got the Niners next.
Yeah.
They got Titans, Jags, which, you know what I'm saying, the Chargers. Then you got the Rams, Bengals,
I try to tell you that, you know what I'm saying?
Broncos,
It's a lot.
Texans,
It's rough.
Seahawks. Yeah.
It's rough. over there. You know what I mean?
They got a tough run going ahead of them. But that's what I'm saying.
But, and this is another thing, too. I wanted to get back to why I had Philly, another point why I had Philly first. Looking at down at that NFC, it's tough over there. It's real. And they is out there blossoming.
Where?
In the NFC.
NFC what?
Just I'm talking about if you think about this in the context of like going to the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Like if they was to roll their way all the way to the playoffs, the teams that will be able to make the playoffs in there are dangerous. More dangerous than the teams in the AFC to me. I'm sorry.
Ain't no way.
How?
The top 5 teams in the NFC right now are the Eagles, the Vikings, the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Bucks. And behind that, you got the Niners, the Rams, and then Green Bay. Everything after, come on, yo.
All of them teams not worried about the playoffs though, brother. If them top bracket teams, you would be
NFC. Who? What top bracket teams?
Listen, if playoffs go like in all of them, if any one of these teams in the top part right here that's going to be in that second round of them playoffs you playing, you're not walking in there thinking it's going to be none of them teams.
AFC, you got Buffalo,
mind
Kansas
you.
City,
Listen,
Chargers.
Mind you, you have
Baltimore.
You have 3 of them teams in your top 5 in your list. That's all I'm trying to. So I'm trying to tell you that the NFC being that much time, like, and looking forward, which we're gonna get to too. Philly is doing damn good of a job because they better keep it up. If it get real, they gonna have to see somebody top of the playoffs.
Yeah, but I don't know if I agree with the NFC.
I know why, because this year it is.
I don't know.
Well, it look like it to me. Y'all over there bullshit. Yeah. But that's what I would have the Bills. I would have the Bills second. I think the Bills are just making a lot of like they
They were supposed to be.
Hey man, they like
that defense. Plus, you got that potent offense with.
They like, you know what's so funny about that I kicked the Chiefs out? Because they the East Coast Chiefs. They will run it right up on you. If it gets serious, like if it get luncheon, they gonna run it right up on you.
Yeah.
If you give them the door,
yep.
they score. They getting in there. They not playing around with you. You know what I'm saying? That loss that they took this year was in the midst of some bullshit. The team they played, I think they lost to Miami. Did they lose to Miami? What the fuck they lose to? Go that real quick.
But they lost to the Dolphins. Yes.
Yeah, they lost to Miami, and like you said, Miami was just rolling. You know what I mean?
Miami was rolling at that time.
But they snuck a win on y'all.
Yep.
They performed on prime time last 2 nights ago.
Yep.
They ain't messing around.
I ain't mad at them.
Respect them. They cool. You know what I'm saying?
Should got them, but hey.
Minnesota though.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
This one thing I did. I'm all offense.
Jefferson.
You got Jefferson out there, and then you got Cook too.
And Thielen still. But yeah, Dalvin Cook.
That ground and that air.
Kirk Cousins.
It's
Kirk Cousins out
No
there.
pun intended. You got to do your thing when you got that, yo. If you don't, you just bullshitting, yo.
Yeah.
Messing up. So, looking at it now, who you got as the, you know what I mean? Maybe some top players, some MVP, early MVPs, or